Confidence. It's something that so many of us struggle with, especially when it comes to talking to the opposite sex. You've probably experienced that moment when you're about to approach a girl and your heart starts racing, your palms get sweaty, and you freeze. You begin to doubt yourself, asking, "What if she rejects me? What if I say the wrong thing?" And in that moment, everything that you've worked for, your success, your growth, your mindset, starts to crumble. But what if I told you that confidence isn't something you're born with? What if I told you that it's a skill, something you can build and develop just like any other ability? Napoleon Hill, one of the greatest thinkers on success and personal development, believed that the key to unlocking success in any area of life is rooted in the power of our thoughts. If you can master your mind, you can master your reality. And this applies to every aspect of life, including how you interact with others, particularly women. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into 6 steps to talk to a girl with confidence using Napoleon Hill's principles of success. These steps will not only help you overcome the fear of rejection, but will also empower you to build genuine connections and communicate with confidence. Let's begin this journey by understanding that confidence isn't something external, it's something internal. And the more you practice these steps, the more you'll see the transformation, not just in how you talk to girls, but in how you approach life as a whole. The first step is something that might sound simple but holds incredible power: clarity of thought. Napoleon Hill often said, "What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." In essence, your thoughts are your foundation. If you approach a conversation with a clear mind, a strong belief in your worth, and a purpose, you're already one step ahead. So before you even think about talking to her, take a moment to center yourself. Know who you are, know your value. If you walk into a conversation with a sense of purpose and clarity, it will show. It's like building the right mindset for success in any endeavor. If you don't believe in yourself, how can anyone else believe in you? Next, let's talk about the importance of being present. One of the key principles that Hill emphasized was the idea of mastering your thoughts. Too often, when we're talking to someone we find attractive, we start overthinking everything. We worry about what we look like, whether she's interested, or if we're saying the right thing. This distraction takes us away from the present moment, and instead of having a real conversation, we're consumed by our own insecurities. Being present means that you're not worried about the past or the future. You're fully engaged in the moment, listening, observing, and connecting with the person in front of you. When you do this, it becomes much easier to communicate with confidence because you're no longer preoccupied with your fears. Now, let's move to a step that may seem counterintuitive at first. Embrace vulnerability. It's hard to talk to someone with true confidence if you're not willing to be open and vulnerable. Napoleon Hill once said, "The only limitation is the one you set up in your own mind." Many of us hold ourselves back from authentic connection because we're afraid to show our true selves. But vulnerability isn't weakness. In fact, it's the opposite. Vulnerability is strength. It's about being authentic and genuine, and letting go of the fear of judgment. When you open up and allow yourself to be seen, you make space for others to do the same. And when you approach a conversation with that level of honesty, it creates a deeper connection. You're no longer playing a game of trying to impress. You're engaging in a real, human conversation. The next step is confidence in silence. One of the most powerful things you can do in any conversation is not to say anything at all. Napoleon Hill talked about the power of strategic silence, particularly in negotiations and relationships. Sometimes the most confident thing you can do is to listen. Listening shows that you value the other person's thoughts and opinions. It also gives you time to think before you speak, which leads to more thoughtful, deliberate responses. Silence is not awkwardness, it's power. When you don't feel the need to fill every moment with words, you begin to exude an air of calm and control. This shows that you're comfortable in your own skin and confident enough not to rush to say something just for the sake of it. The fifth step is taking responsibility for your own emotions. Too often, we allow our emotions to control our actions. If we feel nervous, we assume that it's okay to let that anxiety dictate how we act. Napoleon Hill said, "Your thoughts are your reality." The emotions you feel are often a reflection of the thoughts you're having. If you think you're going to fail, you'll feel anxious, and that anxiety will come across in your behavior. But if you shift your thoughts to a place of positivity and control, your emotions will align with that. It's about taking ownership of your emotional state. You don't have to let nerves dictate how you show up in a conversation. Instead, acknowledge the nerves, but then decide to control your emotional state and act with intention. When you do this, you take control of your interaction and exude confidence. Finally, let's talk about the power of persistence. One of Hill's most profound teachings was the idea of persistence and the ability to keep moving forward, even in the face of adversity. The same applies when talking to a girl. Rejection doesn't mean failure. It means you're learning. It means you're putting yourself out there. And that takes courage. The key is to keep trying. Keep having those conversations. Keep practicing. Keep learning. The more you engage with people and put yourself out there, the more confident you'll become. Confidence doesn't come from never being rejected. It comes from the willingness to try, fail, and then try again. By practicing these steps, clarity of thought, being present, embracing vulnerability, the power of silence, taking responsibility for your emotions, and practicing persistence, you can transform your interactions with women and with everyone else. These are not just strategies for talking to a girl. They are principles that will help you navigate all areas of your life with confidence. When you start using these principles, you will notice a shift not just in how you talk to others, but in how you see yourself and your potential. Remember, confidence is not about pretending to be something you're not. It's about understanding who you truly are and walking through life with the certainty that you are enough. And when you carry that energy, it will be reflected in your interactions with others, and your life will change as a result. It's easy to think that success is a destination. It's easy to think that once you reach a certain point, you've made it and that your work is done. But the truth is, success is an ongoing journey. It's a continuous process of growth, learning, and adapting. And when you start taking those first steps towards change, your entire life begins to transform. One of the most powerful things you can do is to choose to believe that change is possible. And this belief doesn't just come from wishful thinking. It comes from the intentional act of deciding, over and over again, to take one step forward. One decision at a time. One action at a time. Napoleon Hill often spoke about the importance of having a clear desire and burning desire to achieve your goals. That burning desire should fuel every action you take. It should drive you to push through the challenges and setbacks that will inevitably come your way. And trust me, there will be setbacks. But setbacks don't define you. How you respond to them, how you keep moving forward, that's what shapes your future. And you know what? It's not about being perfect. Perfection is an illusion. The people who succeed don't succeed because they never make mistakes. They succeed because they make mistakes, learn from them, and keep pushing forward. The fear of making mistakes is what holds so many people back from taking action. But you have to embrace failure, because failure is just feedback. Failure shows you what doesn't work and gives you the opportunity to try something new. Here's the key. You have to want it more than you fear it. You have to have such a deep, unshakable belief in the importance of your journey that the fear of failure becomes irrelevant. You won't be afraid of the unknown because you'll be too focused on the possibility of what could be. The people who truly succeed don't wait for opportunities to fall into their lap. They create opportunities by taking consistent action. They create momentum by staying in motion. The longer you stay still, the more difficult it becomes to move forward. But every small action, no matter how insignificant it seems in the moment, moves you closer to your goal. Here's another truth. It's never too late to start. You are not defined by where you are today. You are defined by where you're willing to go. Don't let your past mistakes, setbacks, or current circumstances hold you back from the greatness you are capable of. Your past is just that, the past. Your future is yours to shape. So, what's the first step? The first step is simple. Make a decision. Decide right now that you're no longer going to wait for the perfect time. Decide that you're going to start taking action, even if it's imperfect. And then, trust the process. Believe that every step you take will get you closer to where you want to go. It's time to stop waiting. The life you want is out there, and it's waiting for you to claim it. Now, I want you to think about your life. Think about where you are right now. Think about your dreams, your goals, your desires. How badly do you want them? How badly do you want to transform your life? Remember this. You have the power to create the life you want. No one else is going to do it for you. It's not about waiting for someone to give you permission. It's about taking responsibility and taking action. So ask yourself, what's holding you back? What's the one step you need to take right now to move forward? Take it. Take that first step today. Stop waiting for everything to be perfect, because it never will be. Start now, and you'll begin to see how life starts to shift. The life you've been waiting for is waiting for you to make a move. You're stronger than you think. You're capable of more than you realize. And the only thing standing between you and the life you want is your decision to act. So act, and everything will change. The concept of self-discipline is crucial in this journey. Self-discipline isn't about being harsh on yourself or suppressing your desires. It's about understanding your goals clearly and staying committed to them. It's about making the tough decisions when they matter the most, even when every part of you wants to give in to distractions or fear. Self-discipline is the bridge between your current reality and your ideal life. Napoleon Hill frequently emphasized the importance of self-discipline in his teachings. Without it, success will always be just out of reach. The reason many people fail to achieve their dreams is because they fail to develop the discipline necessary to take consistent action. It's easy to get distracted, to lose focus, but the true test of your character is your ability to stay on track even when things aren't easy. So, how do you develop this self-discipline? The answer is simple. Practice it every day. Start by setting small, achievable goals. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Small wins will give you the momentum you need to keep going. And once you've gained momentum, those small wins will snowball into something much bigger. Consistency is key, and this is where the power of habit comes in. You see, habits are the foundation of everything. Your daily habits shape your future. Every time you choose to take action, no matter how small, you are reinforcing a habit that will eventually lead you to success. Hill believed that if you could form the right habits and make them second nature, you would be unstoppable. This is why it's so important to build a solid routine that supports your goals. Your habits are your compass. The next essential component in this process is focus. We live in an age of constant distraction. Our phones, our social media, our work, everything demands our attention. But if you want to change your life, you need to learn how to focus. Focus is the ability to direct your energy and attention toward a single goal, blocking out everything else. It's about having tunnel vision for what truly matters and not allowing yourself to be sidetracked. When you can focus with intention, you amplify your efforts. Every action you take is aligned with your goal, and that alignment creates results. Napoleon Hill always stressed that it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. And working smarter means focusing on what truly moves the needle forward. But focus requires clarity. If you're not clear on what you want, it's hard to stay focused. This is where knowing your purpose comes in. Purpose is the driving force behind every action. If you don't have a strong sense of purpose, you will constantly be swayed by external influences. Your purpose keeps you grounded. It reminds you why you're doing what you're doing, and it pushes you forward when the going gets tough. It's time to ask yourself, what is your purpose? Why do you want to achieve your goals? What will your life look like when you have achieved everything you've set out to do? This purpose isn't just a vague idea. It's the foundation of everything you do. Without it, your actions will lack direction. Another critical aspect of success is taking calculated risks. Many people live their lives avoiding risk because they're afraid of the unknown. They prefer the comfort of certainty, even if that certainty doesn't bring them fulfillment. But growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. Success requires you to take risks, to step out of your comfort zone and try things that are uncertain and uncomfortable. This is where true personal growth happens. Of course, not all risks are worth taking. Napoleon Hill encouraged people to take calculated risks, meaning you should assess the potential reward and the consequences of failure before making a decision. This doesn't mean you should blindly charge ahead without considering the risks, but it does mean that you should embrace the challenges that will stretch your potential. The fear of taking risks often holds people back from reaching their full potential. But when you face your fears and take action anyway, you become more powerful. You prove to yourself that you are capable of handling uncertainty. And this ability to handle uncertainty is what separates successful people from those who never take that first step.